What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Chris, coming at you as always from the man cave. Today's video, I want to do a response video to my boy at Chris Has the Spins here on YouTube, a new channel. He's got a no subs cover contest. He's had it up for a couple of weeks now. Been super swamped, but I promised him I'd get it in, and damn it, I'm a man of my word, Chris. Most people do contests when they hit a milestone, 100 subscribers, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, whatever. Chris decided to spin it a different way, which I happen to think is quite a neat idea if you think about it. And his no subs contest is I think his second video of all time was a subs contest. And the idea is he's got some friends in the vinyl community who can do entry videos and can put his name out there, draw some attention to his channel, get in what you put in, and he can have some fun with it in the process and earn some new subscribers. And I think it's a great idea. It's actually the first time I've ever seen it in the vinyl community, but a great idea, and he's a great guy and a great person. So honestly, whether you guys decide to enter the contest or not, I highly recommend that you go subscribe to his channel. Chris Has the Spins, just like it's spelled. C-H-R-I-S, the right way. The right way. Has the Spins. So you guys make sure, whether you have time to enter this contest or not, just subscribe. He's a great guy. But I hope you will subscribe. It's a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun putting my video together. And so here goes. Before I drag on too long, it's 20 questions. It's going to take a minute. Question number 1: album cover you'd like to recreate. Okay, well, this one was pretty easy for me. For years, buddies of mine, have talked about, hey, wouldn't it be cool to go up to England and go to Abbey Road and recreate the Abbey Road album cover? Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be super cool? It's like one of the most, touristy locations, I think, in all of Europe. Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. But it would be cool to do that. I got dibs on Paul. But damn it, it looks like I'd have to shave the beard, so maybe I should go with John or George. Ringo doesn't have enough of one. Paul's my favorite, but I don't want to get rid of my beard anytime soon, so I don't know. Anyway, question number 2: album cover that makes you happy. Okay, well, I mean, for a couple reasons. Number 1, This Is Love Forever Changes. For one, it's a phenomenally incredible album. For starters, it's an amazing record. 2, some interesting colors and everything going on here. And 3, I remember the day that I found it in the bins at the record store. I remember just flipping, not finding a damn thing. And I remember my buddy next to me pulling this one out and going like that, and then showing it to me. I'm like, because it'd been one I've been looking for years, and him just totally looking at it and going, and then pulling it out and handing it to me. And so that always brings back a happy memory, and it's a happy album cover, and it's a fantastic record. So all of the above, it's like, hey, why not? Got so much going for it. All sound like great things to me. All right. 3, album cover that makes you feel sad. All right. I go with Joy Division's Closer, but either of two Joy Division album would do it for me, honestly. The reason being is because Ian Curtis, who you guys know or may not know, I'm thinking most of you do, lead singer, front man of the band Joy Division, took his own life. Struggled with epilepsy, bad. A lot of lifelong problems with epilepsy, to the point where it made him feel suicidal. And I've always been able to relate to Ian in that way. I myself, you guys would never know this had I not been trying to bring this up for this video, because I keep my private business private. I myself have epilepsy. So I've always been able to relate to him. And because of my great doctors and my medication, and most importantly, my phenomenal wife and her support and her encouragement, I've been able to go like 7 or 8 years seizure free. So it looks like I made it out. He wasn't so fortunate. And so every time I think of Joy Division, or or Vian, or see the album covers, it always makes me think, damn, man. Because I can totally relate and understand how that can make somebody feel that way. Trust me when I tell you, it's a terrible thing to go through, and you never wish it on anybody. Before this video gets too sad, here's one to pump everybody up. At least it pumps me up anyway. Number 4, sexy album cover. Ooh, Shania. Man, I've always had the hots for Shania Twain. Just so gorgeous. Man, man, man. And I'd love to tell you that I bought this album for my wife. But I don't lie. I bought this album for me. For one, she's gorgeous. I always had a huge crush on Shania. And 2, I love the songs on it. Judge me. I don't give a damn. Man, Shania Twain. What cold-blooded man didn't have... What person hasn't had a crush on Shania Twain? Damn, whether it be male or female. And number 5, boring album cover. Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet. That's boring. The original album, of course, had a more, the album cover was more controversial. Record label forced the guys to change it. Yada, yada, yada. Goes on and on and on. So when they changed it, they just, went with the plain white Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet with the, RSVP down there in the bottom. And, really, no, it doesn't matter because it's a killer album. So, Sympathy for the Devil. Stray Cat Blues. Factory Girl, Prodigal Son. So many great rockin' tunes on here. So, a lot of people would be, well, why not go with the Beatles' White Album, It doesn't get any more boring than that. Well, for me, the fact that they put so much effort into all their other album covers is what makes that one interesting. In my opinion. That's my opinion on the White Album cover. All right, album cover with Best Dressed Person. That's number 6. The exciting Wilson Pickett. This is my original mono press. Of course, one that I was thrilled to find. Such a remarkable album. But look at Wilson. Looking sharp as hell. Looking so fly. And it's either a red suit or a pink suit. And what's awesome about that is, I'm just going to come on out with it. There's really no other way to say it. I'm jealous of my black brothers. You guys can pull off suits that we as white men can't pull off. I would look ridiculous in that suit. Pasty pale skin, hairy man. I would look ridiculous in that suit. But you put Wilson Pickett in it, he looks fly as hell. And so I've always been jealous of that. I can pull off a black suit, a tan suit, a gray suit. I can't even pull off a damn brown suit. I look ridiculous in a brown suit. But something like a red suit, you look at it and like, man, that's beautiful. I'd love to be able to wear something like that. I would look ridiculous. I would look straight up ridiculous. But look at Wilson. Wilson looks great. Yeah. All right, number 7, album cover with female lead. All right, go with something a little more obscure. Fear Itself. I can never remember her name. Jeez, I can never remember her name. I feel bad. The gatefold. My personnel's faded on here. Anyway, she's the lead singer. And what Fear Itself reminds me of, basically think psychedelic rock with a soulful woman's voice out front. So think, it was basically described to me by a buddy who traded it to me or sold it to me, I can't remember which, as think Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix all rolled into one. And right there he had me sold. And so it's a fair comparison. Very psychedelic, very guitar driven, but a very soulful woman out front. Powerful vocals. I really dig it. It's a great album. Fear Itself, self-titled. All right, number 8, favorite box set cover. Okay, now this one, wasn't very difficult for me because I don't own very many box sets anymore, unfortunately. Last year when financial times hit me tough and I needed to pay some stuff off and pay some debt off really quick, and over time it started going away, which is what I used to have to, you know, to get me through debt and whatnot. I had to start selling stuff, and I tried my best to not sell something I didn't think I'd ever be able to get back. But you want to sell, you don't want to sell, if you own 2,000 records, you don't want to sell 1,500 of them to get to where you want to go. You want to sell ones you know you can make money off of so that you don't have to sell so damn many. So what that meant in my case was a lot of box sets. I had dozens of box sets. I had 100 plus MoFis. I'm down to one MoFi and I'm down to about 4 box sets. So I just went with one that's my favorite out of what I've got left. John Coltrane, 1963, New Directions. 5 LPs, super cool. Essentially, it's just John's entire output from the year of 1963. Very, 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 very cool. Very well done. Get another box set coming out very soon that I hope to grab and never have to sell. And it's about, you know, his yearly output, for the year of 1958. So I'm excited about that. I hope to get to that one as well. Number 9, cover of album not many own but should. Okay, I actually just listened to this a minute ago and was thinking, I'm like, you know, I'm going to do Chris's video today. This would be a great album for that. Because a lot of times I do my intro to jazz videos. I do my jazz videos, and I want to, often I want to suggest albums for my subscribers that are maybe a little cheaper, that you know, a little less known but cheaper. It's a great album for not nearly as much money. And here's a prime example. I'm not positive how to pronounce his last name. It's either Howard Ousley or Howard Ousley. I'm not positive. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I know how much people on the internet love to correct people. So in this one, I actually want you to if I'm wrong. Howard Ousley or Howard Ousley, the Kid. And it's on Cobblestone, Buddha Records. Wax is super cool looking. Take a load of that. Pretty awesome. Very soulful, funky as hell jazz record. I think it was released in 1972. So most of you guys already know where jazz was heading by that direction anyway. More towards the funk, more towards the soul. And this is a great record. I'd highly recommend it. I don't think, if you do what you're supposed to do, if you go about it the right way, this shouldn't cost you more than $20. 30 tops. I wouldn't think so. But great record. Highly recommended. Think Curtis Mayfield's Superfly, but a jazz record. For most of it. Not for the whole album, for most of it. There are a couple slower numbers. Alright. Album cover with great artwork. Alright. This one's for you, Chris. John Coltrane's Infinity. And why this one's appropriate, if you guys watched Chris's video. If you guys watched Chris's video about the whole contest, you know, the video that jumped off the whole contest, he shared this for his jazz album cover, completely sealed. And I think he had, can't remember what his exact comment was, whether he'd keep it. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, I had something he wanted. Going back to me selling box sets to pay, you know, bills and whatnot. I had that, you know, recent, you know, 6 LP Hendrix Electric Ladyland box set posted for sale on Instagram stories. And he wanted it. And he knew that there was a good chance I would want that. So we worked out a trade. He threw that in, sent me a little cash to close the deal, and bam, he's happy. I'm happy. He got a sealed Hendrix box set. I got a sealed Coltrane record. I popped the plastic on that bastard yesterday. Threw it on. He knows how I wagon wheel. He knew he was putting it in the hands of the right guy. It sounds phenomenal. Looks phenomenal. Thank you, Chris. No better time to put it on a video than when I'm in your contest. All right. Number 11. Psych album cover. This just seemed too easy, but I did it anyway. Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle. And this is an original stereo pressing. Not many people have this one. You're not ever likely to see this one, honestly. And you're not, honestly, if you do see it, you're not likely to see it in very great condition. But I have it. I love it. And best believe if you see me selling that one, then you really know. Oh shit, Chris needs money bad. But that one was easy. All right, blues album cover. All right. This is my favorite. Not necessarily my favorite. Okay, not my favorite blues album in my collection, but my favorite blues piece in my collection. And by that meaning, super clean, super cool, super rare. So, without further ado, John Lee Hooker plays and sings the blues. That is an original mono, you guys. It is on chess. Don't think that that angle does it enough justice. Excuse me. That spine's perfect. No splits. No nothing. Look how clean the back of that beauty is. Look how clean that is. Here, only imperfection right there. You never see original blues that clean. It is the cleanest blues record I've ever seen. And then, of course, because we care about more than just front cover sleeves here, don't we? Look at that chest label. Look how clean that is. Look at the gloss. Look at the shine on that beauty. I gotta tell you, I bought this off of my boy Dylan, Noble Records, a couple of years ago. I'm sure you guys aren't shocked about that, knowing our relationship. And when he told me he had it, I about shat myself. He insisted how clean it was. Insisted. And of course I didn't think my boy was fronting. Of course I didn't think so. But when I meet him at his place to do the exchange, he pulls it out and puts it in my hands. I'm like, holy hell, you might have actually undersold this. This is the cleanest damn blues record I've ever seen. Whoever owned this before we did, before that, meaning, me, Dylan before me, kudos. God bless you. Man, this thing's beautiful. And I plan on keeping it that beautiful. 13, jazz album cover. Okay, I could have went 1,000 directions with this one. Literally could have went 1,000 directions with this one. I don't know exactly how many jazz albums I have, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's 1,000. So I wanted to pull one out that I've been heavy into lately that doesn't get enough attention so that I could talk about it with you guys for a minute. I never stop pitching the great artistry, the great art form of jazz. I never stop pitching that on here, guys. And I'll continue to do so. Leo Parker, let me tell you about it. Original mono. Got the New York label. So, a few years ago, I had some jazz. Most of what I had was, early reissues, Liberty Presses. I didn't have any original Blue Notes yet. Not yet. And Dylan, Noble Records, hollers at me and tells me he knew, I was really getting into jazz and really wanted more jazz. And it's so damn hard to find around our neck of the woods, you guys. It just is. It's just, yeah. We're Southern. There's not a whole lot of it around here. So he gets a big jazz haul. Immediately calls me. Man, I've got Blue Notes. I've got 10 inches. I've got, miles. I've got everything. You want to meet up and do a deal. So I'm like, holy hell, because I don't know the details of everything he's got. He had, given me a couple little tastes, let me know what he had. I'm like, I better box up the heat. So I started boxing up a bunch of rares. I know how Dylan likes it. Dylan, bootlegs, audiophiles. That's it. That's his lane. So I'm like, okay, what can I not live in? I start pausing because, like, I know how much blues cost. I'm gonna need some money. Then I show up, and the main 12-inch blue notes that he hits me with are Babyface Willette's Face to Face, which I had wanted for years. And this beautiful record, Leo Parker's Let Me Tell You About It. Okay, admittedly, so here's who plays on the album. Here's the personnel on the album. John Burks on the trumpet, Bill Swindle on the tenor, of course Leo on the baritone, Yusef Salim on the piano, Stan Conover on the bass, Pernell Rice on the drums. The only musician on here that I had heard of was Leo. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. I got to be careful. I'm going to end up owing money on this. Maybe I don't need to take it home. But then I caught myself. I was like, Chris, get the hell out of here. It's Blue Note. And you already know Leo sounds awesome. There's no way it's going to be bad, bro. Grab it. Put some money up front. Let's take this bastard home. So I did. And I couldn't be happier. This record cooks. It is so damn good. From the time you drop the needle on the A groove, on the first A groove, to the time it hits the dead wax on the B side, this bastard rolls. It cooks. It is hot. Every musician on here, you wonder why in the hell they weren't bigger, especially Yusef Salim on the keys. I mean, he's got that gritty style of playing on the whole record, and it's phenomenal. Man, this album was good. So then you're like, okay, obviously I got to look into some more Leo. Okay, well, Leo died the year after he made this, 36 years old of a heart attack. Man, what more we could have had from Leo Parker. So sad. But guys, get it into your life. Especially for you guys who watch my videos to learn more about jazz, this is your boy. Get this. Get this into your life. I don't care if it's a Liberty reissue of a damn Blue Note 75th, if they have a 75th of this one. I don't care. I don't care what it is or how you get it. I don't care if you buy it on CD. Get the album. I don't care if you download it, Spotify. I don't care, honestly. And this is coming from me, who literally only listens to one format, and that's vinyl. I don't care how you get into it. I don't care how you listen to it. Just get it. Thank me later. You're welcome. All right. Soul album cover. Okay. This one seemed like a good time to do a couple things. The soul album that I went with is Teddy, by Mr. Teddy Pendergrass. I'll tell you, I'm confident in my sexuality. Teddy was a good-looking man. Look at that. Teddy had going, man. Look at that. So much style, so much swagger. That slick-ass white suit on. Got the chains, looking good. Man, you ain't gonna tell me. I mean, was there a man that didn't want to be Teddy and a woman that didn't want to be with Teddy? No way you're gonna tell me that that wasn't the case. And one of the main reasons, I could have went in, hundreds and hundreds of directions with this one. There is a phenomenal documentary that just came out. It's called Teddy Pendergrass, If You Don't Know Me By Now. Watch it. Find a way. It's recent. I think it just came out in the last few months. It is phenomenal. You will laugh. You will cry. You will learn things about Teddy that you didn't know. You will come away with a newfound respect and admiration, even if you already did respect and admire him, and I did. But you will come out with that multiplied times 10. Trust me when I tell you, not just for him, but for the people he had in his life. Yeah. Get yourself some Teddy wax if you don't already have it. And please, strong recommendation, can't recommend it enough. Teddy Pendergrass, If You Don't Know Me By Now. Thank me later. So good. All right. 15 was a tough one for me, Chris. Album you think fewest have seen. Okay, because almost my entire collection is albums that not many people have seen. And even if they are albums that people have seen, then I'm going to have the rare pressings that they haven't seen. You know how it is. So I could have just picked a record at random, honestly. Just steer away from my classic rock section and go to any of my other records, and I could have grabbed one out that would have worked. But I used it as a chance to plug yet another awesome not as well known jazz record that I think people need in their life. Hootin' and Tootin', Fred Jackson. It's original mono. One of the cleanest original mono albums I have. Super clean. Bought it online about a year ago. Was immediately blown away. Look how, oh my God, so clean. I'm here to tell you guys, it's rare to get them this clean. It really is. Like, you know, a lot of times the wax will, you know, the wax might sound phenomenal, but the sleeves will be beat all to hell. So it's rare to get them this clean. And I'm sure most of you, my fellow jazz heads, you know this. Fred Jackson on the tenor, Earl Van Dyke on the organ, Willie Jones on the guitar, Wilbert Hogan on the drums, and man, it's good. It is good. It's funky as hell, it's soulful as hell, and something you find, I can't remember which southern state Fred is from. Alabama, Mississippi, somewhere deep down south, and you can tell by listening to the tunes on this record, because it's country as hell too. And man, it's good. Highly recommended. Get it into your life. I don't know how many times it's been reissued. If you can find a reissue, again, I can't recommend it enough. Get yourself one. All right, album with your dream guitar. Because for those of you who don't know my boy Chris is a guitarist himself. And so, of course, he loves to hear anything with, you know, some guitar. And he loves to hear opinions on guitars. And damn it, he just likes to talk about guitars. And I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar, even though I've never had any musical ability. But hell, I mean, maybe with enough practice. But now it's just, I don't have the time. Maybe I will someday, you know. Between work and, most importantly to me, my 2-year-old and my family. It's tough to find that kind of time to be as good at it as I know I'm going to want to be, because I am a competitive son of a bitch. I can't help myself. I am competitive as hell. If I suck at something, it sucks. Yeah, I'm competitive as hell. All right, so album with your dream guitar. All right, so I chose to go with this one. Feeling the Spirit, Grant Green. Original stereo. Got the New York labels. Getting it in there a little closer for you guys. Grant Green, my favorite jazz guitarist. All right, I could be wrong, but I know a little bit about guitars, even though I don't know how to play them. I think it's a Gibson ES330. So if you're a guitarist, and it is, then you can confirm that for me. And if it's not, again, I know how much people on the internet love correcting everybody. So holler at your boy either way. I'd love to know whether I'm right or wrong. But I know that Grant had an affinity for Gibsons, and of course, why would you not? And I believe that's what that is. But this is one of my favorite guitar-driven jazz albums. He's my favorite jazz guitarist. And damn it, just knowing that Grant Green had it would have been enough for me if I didn't already know how awesome Gibsons were. Okay, iconic album cover. I'm going to go John Coltrane and Blue Train. Mr. Train's only album on Blue Note. And it's a classic. And it might be my favorite jazz album, period. It might be my favorite album, period. It might be if you had to take one album to be locked away on a desert forever for the rest of your life, what would you take? This might be the one I grab right before I get hauled out of here. Take a look up there in the top right corner. You can see my custom-made canvas for the album cover. Grabbed it on Etsy. One of the worst things my wife ever did, guys, was introduce me to Etsy. Because when we built our house, when we moved in, I have far too much shit to not have a room for it, essentially. So the deal when we built the house is I get a big back porch to cook out on, I get a room for my music, and she can do whatever she wants with the rest of the house. Thought that was a fair trade. Whatever color you want, whatever tile you want, whatever hardwood you want, whatever cabinets you want, whatever, I'm game. I don't even care if I think they're hideous. I will keep my damn mouth shut. Good thing for me, my wife's got great taste. But yeah, but Blue Note actually has started releasing huge canvases, like 22 by 22, I think, and up, of some of their iconic album covers. And they've already put out several that I want. As soon as they put that one out, I'm buying. I am buying. So I don't give a damn if it is $300. I'll find a way. All right. Next up, favorite gatefold. All right. Was I ever going to go anywhere besides a Love Supreme? Nah. It was definitely going to be Impulse, right? Original mono. John Coltrane's A Love Supreme. Their gatefolds are so damn sturdy. The gatefold. And yes, for you guys who've seen my personal video before about when I grabbed this one, some bastard took some scissors or a knife or something and went to town on the top corner of this record. For what reason and for what gain, I don't think I'll ever understand. The album play is great. It looks great. That's going to always bother me. I'm not going to lie. I'm on the look for a perfect album cover. I'm not going to lie to you. Or as close to perfect as I can get it. But anyway, it's my favorite gatefold. Beautiful, beautiful thanks and whatnot, and notes from Mr. Coltrane on the inside. It's just a beautiful gatefold all the way around. You got that awesome photo of John himself up there, and it's just forever my favorite gatefold. I don't think there's any better way to put it. Forever my favorite. It's always tough to get those gatefolds back in. I get it. All right. Oldest album. Okay. This one's fun. And because all my albums are old as hell. I don't have, I hadn't bought an album released in 2019 yet. I only bought 3 albums. It's so few guys that I can remember exact numbers. I bought 3 new albums last year. I bought Kamasi Washington's Heaven and Earth. I bought John Coltrane's New Directions. What was the other one? Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour. This year I haven't bought any. I don't have my eyes on any. I don't. But anyway, what I do have, I digress. What I do have is I have 2 books that look exactly like this. And what they have in them, some of you guys are going to know these and some of you guys are not. They do have are these Victor 78s. 10 inches. Listen to that. I've never played them. They were given to me. They were given to me by a friend. A friend's father gave them to him. He, passed them on to me. I've never played them. This one in particular, In the Sweet Long Ago, Sterling Trio, male trio with orchestra. I've got an entire book of them. Down here in the bottom, let me see. Here's the date for the recording, 1903. 1903. And it's a whole book full of them. I got 2 whole books full of them. It's been a while since I pulled these out and looked at them. Victor Salon Orchestra, Joseph C. Smith's Trio. There's a couple of accordion records. And guys, yeah. Isn't that neat? And dog sitting right there in front of the gramophone. These are neat. I mean, these are the kind of thing where, again, I have 2 of them, and they're not exact. So 2 completely, featuring completely different records. those are the kind of thing where you would think they'd be worth some money, but I have no idea. I have no idea how to go about finding out whether or not they're worth some money. I know they're cool as hell, and I know I'm yet to dare to play them. They almost kind of scare me, but they're neat to have. But anyway, figured it was as good a time as any to ever pull those out to show my friends in the vinyl community. All right, oddest, most obscure album cover. Okay, I mean, I don't have very many odd, obscure album covers because my collection is mostly jazz, and they're not usually about odd and obscure. Jazz is you know your artist, your front man, or whatever. Usually the album notes, the credits. I love them for that. I do, but it's not where you find your odd, obscure album covers. I almost wish that I had that terrible Trout Mask replica album, just so I could show it to this. Yes, I said it. I said it. Trout Mask replica by Captain Beefheart sucks. It does. It's terrible. It makes me want to pull my hair. It makes me want to yank my beard out with both hands listening to it. It's so bad. Somebody had told me for years and years and years, and I had read it on so many, best of album, of all time list. And I had, heard about how great it was and saw how great it was, and everybody talked about how great it was, and everybody's like, oh yeah, it's weird, but it's great. And so I got my hands on a near mint original copy and hated it. Like, loathed it. Like, how can anybody think this is good? So I put it back on the shelf. My taste changed for about a year. I got a little more into psych and, weird types of rock and roll. So I'm like, I'm going to pull it back out now. I'll dig it now. Maybe my ears just weren't ready for it then. I put it back on and hated it even more. Because now that I appreciated psych, it's like, okay, I've gotten into good psych, and this is just bad. This is bad music. I don't care what anybody says. But in my chat group, I had complained again about how terrible it was. And Dylan knew I had a super sweet original copy. My buddy Dylan at Noble Records. So he finally messaged me. He goes like, okay, good. So you don't need that super sweet original copy then, do you? Like, no, I guess I don't. What do you got for me? Let's make a deal. So it belongs to him again. Unless he sold it or traded it. I don't think so. But either way about it. Hopefully it either belongs to him or somebody else that'll appreciate it instead of sitting here being criticized by me on this video. Plenty of people love it. I hate it. It's fine. So I went with one of the weirder ones that I had left in my collection. I went with Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request. Because compared to what the Rolling Stones had in way of album covers, compared to what they had out, the Rolling Stones always kind of had some kind of edgy album covers. Not always, but that's just so far gone from Rolling Stones and their usual. You got them all there looking like there's a damn Renaissance fair in town. And, the weird castle and everything in the background and just it's a very trippy, the whole thing is very trippy. And, pretty much, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most people know it was a direct response to the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which I think most people would agree is a better album than this. And a lot of people shit on this album. I actually personally really like it. And I've always really liked it. But that doesn't change the fact that that's a very weird album cover. So, I went with that one. Okay, so that's my 20 questions. I knew there was no chance in hell I was getting through this in under 40 minutes, and I was right. I know myself. But anyway. So that's my entry video, Chris. To Chris Has the Spins. No subs contest. For you guys who are watching, I encourage you. I know it's 20 questions, but as long as you don't talk like me, you can get through it a whole lot quicker. Like, I watched one person get through theirs in 16 minutes. So it can be done, and it makes you think. And it's a lot of great questions, and it's a lot of important questions, and maybe it makes you go back through your collection and discover some records that maybe you hadn't thought about in a while. Like I'm thinking about throwing, this one on like here in a minute. So I hadn't thought about it in so long. Why not? But Chris is a great guy. And even if you don't do an entry video, even if you don't do an entry video to his no subs contest, I hope that you will watch his videos, and I hope that you will subscribe and show him some love and welcome him to this great vinyl community that we are all a part of. And we all do videos for him. We all talk about our favorite albums with. And I just show him some love, welcome him with open arms, and I hope you'll give him a sub. Chris, awesome things, buddy, on the contest. I really do love it. You're an awesome guy. You're a great friend. I look forward to meeting you one day and throwing back a few beers. Thank you for putting this contest together. And if this is your first contest, if this is your no subs contest, I can only imagine what you've got coming up in the future, buddy. So I look forward to being involved. Cheers to you, Chris. Great contest, my friend. Until next time, until next video, keep dropping that needle, you guys.